Good morning. It is another glorious day on the farm. It's January. I have got a lot of stuff to move and sell. I've got to get all this lettuce loaded up from here and from my other greenhouse and get it sold. I've also got a bunch of tomatoes that I've got stored away and some strawberries. Over at the dairy, I've got some butter and cheese I need to sell. And I actually still have bread over at the mill that Javon has been making for me. And some of the places in town that I delivered to last month went through it, actually. Weirdly, I guess it was a high demand season. And so I think I will sell some more bread. Which is good, because all of my money is gone. You probably noticed I went down a lot overnight. That is because I have got the new cow enclosure set up on the new property. I bought the extra property over from where I've been farming over on this side of the road, and I got a new enclosure set up for some beef cows. So later this month I will be picking those up from the animal dealer, and I need to get some feed mix put together for them and for my dairy cows. They're running low on feed too, and I need to get some water and straw into that enclosure for my new beef cows. And since I bought this new property, I was able to clear off the sand, so I sold that. And this property, it's pretty uneven. There's a lot of elevation changes on this property. So I had to spend a fair amount of money trying to set up a flat space to put the cow area on. And I've done a little bit of smoothing out of this property, but I may have to spend some more money later, getting everything nicely landscaped. So yeah, I've spent basically all the money. Oh, and I got, it's hard to see it from here. You can't see it from here, in fact. I got Nelson's house set up over by the dairy, so when I'm loading in the butter and cheese, I will show you Nelson's house is set up over there. So he is not staying in my house anymore. No more fighting over the bed or the couch. And when I say fighting, I mean both of us trying to be polite and offer it to the other. So he's all set now over there. There's a shelter under the house, so hopefully it's okay. And he's going to be looking after the cows for me. I'm going to go ahead and get into a time lapse and load in this lettuce. I think I'm going to do only some of this on camera because it's just going to be a lot of repetitive loading. So I'll show you loading up this first load, and then after that, I think I'll do the rest off camera. So I'll bring you back in after I'm done selling this stuff, and we'll see where we are money-wise, and we'll get over to the dairy and start loading up that stuff. So I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, all loaded up. It was actually quite a tidy job this time. Let's hop in here, get this gate closed up. Make sure everything's tidied away here. Great, okay. Alright, so I've got the beef cows coming later. I bought that new land, so I think I'm going to expand that field that I've already got, the one that's cultivated, and just make it twice the width. So I will check on the soil later and see if the ground is too cold and frozen to plow, or if I can plow the other half of that field. That would be nice, and then I could get some lime on that, so that when spring comes I can plant the whole thing. I haven't decided if I should extend the grass field or not. I'm gonna have twice the cows now. I'm gonna have the beef cows also, and my dairy cows are just a few months away from having calves, so I'm going to need more food. But the field that I've got now already produces quite a lot of food. So I don't know if I need more grass field, or if I should, I don't know, put in another small field there and make it for root crops or something. I don't really know what to do with that. Maybe I'll wait and see, decide later this month. Javon's been doing an amazing job with the mill. I'm so grateful to his help. Oh, and Jenny totally loved that arcade cabinet that Rachel and I got from the bowling alley and fixed up for her. So that was nice. She had a good Christmas, and so did I. It was good to have Christmas with my family again, and Nelson did come with me. That was interesting. Introducing my parents to my missing boyfriend's dad, who's estranged from his wife right now, was quite the holiday experience. But yeah, we had a good time anyway, as good as we could. With Leo missing, and he is still missing. It's January now, it's been 5 months. I haven't given up on finding something, but it hasn't happened yet. So let me get this loaded off here, and I'll see you later. Okay, I am back in my yard after having taken almost all of the greenhouse goods into town. I had, around 135,000, I think, when I started this. So I think I made a little over $200,000 on the lettuce and tomatoes and strawberries. I do have like a couple of pallets, one from each of these greenhouses of tomatoes. These were a little bit less nice to look at, so I don't think I should try to sell them whole. I think I'll take them to Jenny and we can use them in like a tomato soup or something over at the farmer's market, so I'm not trying to actually sell it like that. I've taken some cheese and butter out of my little storage shed here. I started moving some of it over here to make room over at the dairy to unload the rest of it. Normally I could never get away with this during the summer because it's too hot, but right now it's around freezing overnight and it's only getting up into the low 40s during the day, so I can get away with storing the butter and the cheese in my shed here. So I'm going to get this loaded into the truck, and then I will head over to the dairy and get the rest of it from over there. Or actually, maybe that's going to be all I can fit on this load. And maybe I'll do a second load from the dairy. And when I get over there, I'll show you the house that I set up for Nelson. That one's kind of tricky, because I don't know how long Nelson is going to be staying out here. He and Lisa are not getting along right now. I hope it's not permanent. I would be kind of devastated if they end up separating permanently over this, or even getting a divorce. But, you know, that's their relationship. It's up to them how they want to handle that. I feel like Leo would be mad at me if I let it happen, but I don't know. Certainly knowing that I'm sort of enabling his dad to leave his mom. But anyway, because I'm not sure how permanent this arrangement is, I don't know if Nelson's going to be staying on for months or years. So the house I set up is kind of... I'm planning for it to be housing for anybody who I can bring out to the farm to help me work. I think I'm going to have to set up a few more as I grow the farm, just so I can have help out here, because the more I have going, I'm going to be less and less able to do it all on my own. I can just about manage right now, but even this, at my December was completely jam-packed full of just getting stuff ready to go and selling it, and January is shaping up the same way. I've got to plow a new field over there. I've got that property over there toward the old town that I need to do something with. So I can't do all this without help. I'm gonna have to find a more permanent solution, or else at some point broach the topic with Nelson. I'm kind of not pushing right now. Anyway, I will load this up and get this over to the dairy. I'll go ahead and record me loading this in a time lapse so you can see, hopefully, you can see my telehandler skills have improved, but who knows. And yeah, I'll bring you back in a little bit. See you soon. Well, that is unfortunate. I realize there's some kind of problem with the drone. The video footage I was getting of me loading the butter on and the cheese isn't there. So I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with the drone before I get into like any of the field work. So sorry, I loaded this off a camera. I've got the cheese in now, and I took the butter over already to the farmer's market. I made a little over 66,000 on the butter, so that was really nice. This cheese, let me hop up here and show you. It's looking really good. We've got a few different varieties here. The cheese is a little bit slower to produce, and we don't have all of it here. We're aging some. So I kind of think this dairy is not going to be big enough for us long term. Right now, I don't have that many cows, but we're going to have calves in a few months, and by next winter, our milk production should be kicking up quite a lot. So I think I'm going to need a larger dairy at that point to process the milk faster. And I also want to expand the facilities for the aging cheese and everything. Nelson's really getting into the cheese production part of things. So I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep going with just this thing. Also, my telehandler, I had to drive this over from my other yard to put these pallets on the truck. I really need to get a forklift or a telehandler or something over here for moving the pallets around. Nelson's been sort of loading them by hand, which as an individual case of cheese isn't so bad, but when you have a whole pallet full of them, that adds up. And Nelson's not a young guy. He's not like retirement ready yet, but I think he should have a little help. So I need to get a forklift or something over here for him. But here is the house I had built for him. He's in the dairy right now, so he's not going to mind me showing you around. Not much to it right now, just a little garage. I've got the house here, very simple. And I've got the shelter installed underneath, so if an alert is called, I don't have to worry about Nelson getting through the gate. He can just go down below into the shelter. So as long as he's near, like maybe in the dairy, it won't be a problem. If he's over at the cow yard, he's going to need to get back here. So I don't know. He's got a truck that he's been driving for a long time. I might need to get him a little side-by-side or leave my side-by-side with him so he can get back and forth. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so I've got that loaded up. My next job is going to be setting up the new cow enclosure for the beef cows I should be getting soon. I need to get some feed mix in there and some water and some straw bedding. I think I set up the other cow enclosure off camera, So maybe I'll show you the work in a time lapse or something of getting that ready. And Nelson is actually going to go later to pick up the cows himself. So once I get that ready, he's just going to take care of the rest. So yeah, once I get that cow yard ready, Nelson's going to go pick up the cows, and I think then I will work on expanding this field. So I think I'm just going to mark out and just carry this line right straight across to the new edge of my property over in that direction and up, and make it just this big wide field. And I don't know what to do with the area up there, if I should expand the grass field or not. I might not do anything this month while I think about it. And then maybe if there's time, I will get some lime on this field too. So I think we're going to go into some time lapses now, and I will check in with you all later. Oh, and after I sell this cheese, I'm going to get some bread taken over to the farmer's market. Ginny is out, and they are apparently really popular, the loaves that we've been making from Lisa's recipes. And I think they're going to go great with some of this cheese. Like I said, Nelson and I were prototyping, and it just really works together. So I think that will be a nice pairing. So I'm going to get that over there, and I will see you all later. Okay, here we are. I got some water and a couple of feed mixes and some bedding loaded in here. And Nelson just got back with my new cows. Got some Angus here and... oh, you know, I can't remember the other kind of cows, these brown ones. But these are good beef cows, beef cattle. So once these guys get a little older, I think they're about a year old right now, they can start to reproduce, and then eventually, once they are at their prime age, hi funny thing, then they will go on to feed the city. We had to rent a animal transport trailer because I don't have one to pick these guys up, and now that I've got these guys who I'm planning to sell eventually for beef, and the pigs that I'm planning to sell for pork, I think I'm going to need to buy my own animal transport trailer. So if I see one come up used, I'll pick one up. Otherwise, maybe in a year or two, I'm going to have to buy one. You saw the money went up again, so I had sold the cheese, and I made about $60,000 on the cheese. And then I sold the bread, and I made the rest on the bread. And I think that's almost all the money I'm going to have coming in for the year until I get to next winter. We'll have drips and drabs coming in as I take little bits out to the farmer's market for the prepared food bar with the sandwiches and stuff. But, oh, I still have some honey to sell. I think a month or two is when the honey price is going to be at its best. I was thinking about selling the rest of this silage. I think I wrote down when I picked this up off the field, based on the number of times it filled up my forage wagon and the capacity of that forage wagon, I think this was around 110,000 liters of silage. And I actually did a couple more feed mixes off camera and emptied out this silo. So this bunker silo is completely clear now. My cows are full, but I do have those calves coming. I thought about selling the silage, or at least maybe half of it, to the animal dealer. It's because they need help overwintering the animals. But I need to get another cut, well, when the weather improves. I think my first cut is going to have to be hay off this grass field, because I'm down to 2 bales of hay after doing all those feed mixes. So I'm not going to be able to make silage again until late summer, early fall. And there's probably enough here if I sell like half of this to the animal dealer, but I don't want to run low. So I think I'm just going to keep it, and then maybe next winter I'll sell some extra to the animal dealer. I really don't know what my needs are going to be like going into the next year with the extra cattle and with the calves coming for the dairy. So yeah, my new cows are all set up. I'm very happy about that. And I'm going to go get my plow hooked up to the tractor. I checked the ground here, and it isn't frozen yet. It's cold, but it's only been around freezing overnight, and during the day it's been a bit above freezing. So I think it's okay for me to plow that other field, and then I'll try to get some lime on it. I don't know where I am in terms of time for this video, so I don't know if I'm going to put these time lapses in this month's video or in next week's video. Maybe I'll do 2 videos for this month again. We'll find out. So I'll go record those, and maybe I will talk to you again afterwards, or maybe this will be the last I speak to this week. We will find out. Talk to you later.